focus is upon the physical universe and its purpose in regard to consciousness. In this regard, we, being the human animal, are not going out there, but are potentially capable of creating something which can go out there. We could also conceivably merge our consciousness with the machinery and may well be in training for that very thing. I want to talk more on that later. What you refer to as paedophile is only one focus of an abusive meme which has existed through inheritance since ancient days. The problem with focusing upon one aspect or one group of aspects related to this meme is that such a focus can blind a person's data processing, essentially distorting that data to suit the meme's agenda in order to manipulate damaged individuals into its service. The agenda itself is something akin to self-hatred, which is then transferred upon the intended victim or victims with the express purpose of creating within the victim an instrument of extension to further the process of self-hatred externalized. The human psychic seems to have two dominant monsters, the vampires and the werewolves, and these represent dysfunctional groupings seemingly opposed to one another but actually working together for the same purpose. Such is the impulse of the dominant energy. The difference can be seen in the way each type of monster expresses itself, and ultimately the werewolf will be the first to go because it has less hold on its emotions and has buttons which are easy to push. In relation to the meme whole, it can be traced back through the same science which traces DNA, and its distorted reasoning processes resemble something along the lines of, since the world didn't protect me from harm, then the world itself will suffer. And in this reasoning, the illusion is perpetuated. The meme grows through this process and is directly linked with war, religion, culture, and manufactured through scientific processes and devices which contribute to abuse. Abuse captivates much of the world's population, and as I suggested, when one form of abuse is proclaimed the worst, it leaves all lesser forms of abuse enabled to largely continue unnoticed or are simply thought of as only human nature. Verbal abuse is one of the more subtle tools of this meme's arsenal because it is seen to be less harmful than the other forms of abuse. In this way, someone can condemn child molesters, rapists and violent men, etc., while condoning or at least keeping quiet about verbal, physical and mental abuse. Thus the meme slips through with impunity and continues its rage against the machine. Sexuality itself should never be an issue of debate in regard to human beings because we are all inherited form through the sexual act, and to demonize sexuality is again to participate in the hating meme energy system. Sexuality is not just used by those who choose to defile whatever they touch as carriers of the hating meme's agenda. In relation to the subject matter, which is robots seeding planets and this universe being designed for that purpose, that project continues regardless of the hate meme, regardless of war and rape and double dealing, swindling, paedophiles, markups, taking advantage of the less fortunate, and every other action the bulk of the world's populations are involved with at all levels of society. The project is quite insulated from that darkness, even as that darkness consumes itself, and with it the innocent and those who remain innocent rather than become like it. Even if the world's populations were to decimate themselves, the project will continue because it was the original intent of the consciousness, the source, to explore the physical universe, as difficult and unpredictable as that is. Ideally, it would be nice to see the beast, that hating meme, heal itself, and heal of its own self-imposed inflictions, because it is clearly the cause of its own suffering, and anyone who has suffered at its hands and chooses to seek vengeance, well, that personality is choosing to perpetuate the very thing it claims has hurt it, and in all cases will hurt others. The antidote is for the individual to choose not to let that meme control him or her. That is where the healing begins.